Hey everybody, what's up? Today we're going to be talking about SSE, or Server Sent Events. Now, what are server sent events and why they're useful? Well, server sent events are similar to WebSockets, except that they're usually used for when you want a server to update the front end, or like a publish and subscribed situation. The front end listens to events um, that are being pushed from the server, but it's usually one way. Unlike WebSockets, where you'd probably want to use some kind of chat system. In theory, you can use SSE for a chat system, but um, or two-way communication. But it's certainly um, WebSockets. It's more designed for the two-way communication. So reason why I like using SSE rather than WebSockets are that they use HTTP or HTTP2, and therefore they're a lot easier to debug and to see what's going on in the network console, and they're just easy to work with, and they're a simpler protocol than WebSockets. So today we're going to be talking about a few different ways of implementing SSE. One is in Ruby on Rails within Rails 6. Um, and then we're going to talk about it in Django using Django Event Stream. And then finally, we're going to touch briefly on ExpressSSE, which is a way of implementing SSE in ExpressJS in Node. So here's an example of how we can use SSE to update our user interface. So this is our Ticket Mule application, which I've discussed earlier in my other videos. And say, for example, we're viewing this ticket and somebody else is actually making a change. So we've got here on the console, we're going to fix a spelling mistake so that we have one T in the title. And we just do t.save in the backend. And as you can see, almost straight away, this title is changed. And that's because we're watching for changes on this ticket and we're updating them in real time, the front end, when we have things happen. So we can add comments, we can add attachments, and we'll see them just come up here on this desktop straight away, which is very useful when a number of people are working on the same ticket. Um, so let's dive into what we use to actually on the React side, what we're using to view these SSE events, or to hook into them. So they're essentially like, we have an event hook. We have a hook called from this library that we're using called React Hooks SSE, called Use SSE, and we're listening in on an endpoint that and that endpoint has is kind of like a keep alive endpoint. So we open it up as an HTTP socket, and we just keep listening, and then these events keep being pushed to that event endpoint. And if for some reason, one of the nice things about SSE, and particularly this hook, is and SSE in general actually, is if we ever get disconnected, then it will just it'll just keep retrying. It'll retrying to connect to that socket until it's connected, and then again pick up the latest events from where it left off, and therefore we won't lose information if things happen. And obviously, if someone refreshes this or whatever, or goes to another page, it will also refresh. But yeah, SSE is something that, as you could see earlier, just is able to update in real time. So it's quite exciting that way. Um, So moving right along to how we implement it on the server, it's in our controller, and we have a server sent events controller here. And as you can see, we're sending the event content type is the text/event stream. And we're creating a new response stream, and we have a retries. And you can see it here. We're continually viewing, we're seeing what's changed, and we're pushing up empty stuff to whoever happens to be listening. And if we have something that's changed, then we have some information that we can send up an event like any other kind of event, really. And this keeps the socket alive just by continue just saying, hey, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive. But it's not actually sending a lot of stuff over the wire. It's just simply doing some SQL queries and just keeping the endpoint alive. That's basically what we're doing here. Unlike polling, which tends to bring back the same information over and over again. I mean, sure, we have things like caching, which can reduce some of our network traffic that way, but I think that an SSC protocol is more efficient in terms of network usage. So that's Ruby. And if we have a look at, I'm a big fan in Django of using the Django event stream. And that's a Python library for Django, and that hooks into the Django's channels. Now, Django channels is a built-in system for handling WebSockets and chat protocols, IoT protocols, etc. And the event stream sits on top of that. So it's already hooked into an existing infrastructure within Django. So it's pretty reliable that way, and we're using this ASGI support available to essentially have a worker thread so that it doesn't interrupt the main user thread, which is pretty cool. And last but not least, ExpressSSE is for ExpressJS, and it's fairly simple in terms of being able to create different types of content and events that we can send over the wire. Again, we have an endpoint, which in this case is stream, and we just pass out the SSE in it. And once that's initialized, we can then send this content. I haven't actually used this one. It seems to be the most up to date. So it's something that I'll be looking into later when I'm working on ExpressJS. But yeah, SSE server-side events is actually implemented in a variety of different server-side infrastructure. And you don't have to use a library. You can hand build it yourself. There's some tutorials out there on the web, one of them which I'll link to in the description. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video and got some use out of it, and I'll put all the links in the description. Please subscribe for more information. Thanks very much.